Marilyn Balmer, please. Marilyn Balmer.
The first gay marriage will shortly take place in Brighton. Why do we need to change the definition of marriage that has existed for thousands of years when equality already exists?
First gay marriage this coming Saturday, I think it is, isn't it? All over Britain. Well, you said we'd come to this, Roger Helmer. What's your view of gay marriage?
Well,
and is there a need to change the definition of marriage if that's what's happening?
It would be churlish not to send good wishes to those couples who intend to tie the knot, no doubt in Brighton, at the weekend. That said, I think we have to remember that there are many millions of our fellow citizens who are deeply uncomfortable with a change to a treasured institution which has been at the basis of society for a very long time, and not just many millions of our fellow citizens, but also faith groups who are extremely concerned. We as a party oppose the change. The change has now happened, and our concern now is the combination of same-sex marriage and the European Convention on Human Rights, because the government has given certain assurances that faith groups will not be obliged to conduct ceremonies which are against their conscience. We are not content with those assurances. We are sure that there will be cases brought to the European Court and there will be rulings in favour of same-sex marriages amongst faith communities. And yes, anti-discrimination is a fine thing, but freedom of conscience is also a fine thing, and those two principles seem to me to be in conflict in this case.
Okay. Mick Hucknall.
Well, you know, I think of loving couples and people that want to spend the rest of their lives together, that it's a beautiful thing. And if they want to show commitment in the way by being married and be able to look at their neighbours who are also married, then I really sort of struggle to see what the problem is with that. I think it's a noble thing. The idea you look into someone's eyes and you're saying, I want to spend the rest of my life with you. I want to be married to you. And isn't that lovely? I mean, why is that so bad?
Can we hear from Marilyn Balmer, who asked the question? What do you think of what Mick's just said?
I feel it's very wrong. I'm a Christian, a committed Christian, and I think it's against everything that we know. Marriage is between a man and a woman, and the procreation of children.
Diane Abbott. Do you have sympathy with her view?
I'm afraid not. I think it's a wonderful thing that people in Brighton will be able to have same-sex marriages this weekend. It's something I have campaigned for all my political life. I campaigned for it when people sneered and jeered and said it was an extremist position, and I've lived to see the notion that, you know, who you love you can marry become mainstream. Even a Tory Prime Minister was supporting it. So I think it's a wonderful thing it's going to happen. This stuff about, you know, the government doesn't own marriage. Actually, marriage is a legal concept. No one is saying the churches have to recognise same-sex marriage. No one is saying that. The UKIP are trying to scare people, but no one is saying that. But it's a legal concept, and the government of this country is entitled to say that people can have same-sex marriages. Why should you love somebody all your life and then not be able to have it honoured by the name of marriage? You talk about your conscience. What about people's lives? What about the people they love? What about their relationships? I think it's one of the few things that David Cameron pushed for that I would support him on. Campaigned for it for years. I think it's a great thing.
Okay. Roger Helmer, just before we go to the other members of the panel, you were talking about the complications that might ensue under the ECHR regulations. Are you yourself against the concept of gay marriage?
I am very uncomfortable with it, personally.
I don't understand the word uncomfortable. Are you for or against it?
Well, I would have voted against had I been in a position to vote, as indeed would my party.
All right. Justine Greening.
I think it's fantastic that people of the same sex have got the choice to get married now if they want to. I don't see why their relationship should be any less than anyone else's. And I think if people want to make a commitment to one another, I think that's a fantastic, amazing thing, and they should be allowed to get on and do it. And I never thought I'd say this, but I totally agree with Diane Abbott.
What have I done?
And why did we have to go through the whole rigmarole of civil partnership, then, if you believe in marriage? Why didn't we go straight to marriage? Why did we start with civil partnership?
I suppose when we look back over it, it will have been seen as an important step on the way to really getting true equality. But I think that we did the right thing putting the bill to Parliament. Parliament voted for it, and I'm really delighted that over the course of the next few days, the first same-sex marriages are going to be taking place. Okay. I think it's fantastic. I've been invited one myself.
Simon, I'll come to you in a moment, but let's just have one or two other members of the audience. Person there on the left. Yes, you, sir.
I came out 30 years ago, and I am so proud to be a British person who is able to celebrate equal marriage, because I think it's a wonderful achievement, and I'm proud to be British. I think it's amazing. It's well overdue, but I'm very proud.
Okay. And yes, you on the right there.
Love. Oh, which one?
Either of you. No, you on the right, and then I come to you.
Love has no gender, colour or creed. And I think for you to think about religion when it comes to love is wrong, because love is not religion, and it's not wrong to love someone. It's wrong to allow the Catholic Church to allow people to be abused and not be reprimanded about it. That is wrong. To love someone, that is not wrong. There are people that are murdered because they are gay across the world, and I think we should embrace the love and be happy that people can embrace each other and be free to do so.
Okay. Simon.
I think there's very little to add to what the vast majority of people on the panel have already said. Other than that, to the lady in the audience who said that no one owns marriage, well, the word marriage, well, nor does government, nor do any of us own the word marriage. And if people love each other, it makes complete sense to allow them to use the word that we have all had the privilege of using for many, many years. It just does not make sense. This is a non-issue in this century.
Okay. Just before we leave it, Marilyn Balmer put the question and said she wasn't in favour of gay marriage. Does anybody else in the audience support what Marilyn said who'd like to say? Yes. You.
Yes, we've heard a lot of talk about love, but marriage is not primarily about love, it's part of it. Marriage is about a child-centric institution. And what do you say when we have had the Coalition for Marriage have garnered over 660,000 signatures of people saying, we are really uncomfortable with this, we don't want this to come in, and the government has completely ignored a huge swathe of the population. Marriage is about children. That is the main purpose. Why do people want the state? If two people want to get together and we've got civil partnerships, why do you need the state to mandate your relationship?
Why do you need marriage?
Why do you need the state to mandate your relationship?
Fertile couples'
All right,
marriages
hold on.
don't matter then.
Answer the person sitting next to you, because she made a point.
Why can't it be marriage? Why do we have to have something different? If you accept gay people in this country, then why can't you accept us being married? Why can't you accept that? It's not, when you get married to someone, you're not thinking about children, you're thinking about, I'm making a vow to this person for the rest of my life. I want the whole world to know that I love you and I'm sticking by you. That's what it's about. It's not about children. It's not.
When you look, and I think Roger Helmer is quite right here, actually. When you look, particularly at the legal implications of this, it certainly isn't set in stone that there aren't going to be legal challenges. I know that the Church of England is particularly worried. There are certain gay couples who are saying, I haven't got what I want yet, I'm going to challenge the Church of England. And I think we're going to end up seeing disestablishment. Now, if you're going to argue for disestablishment, that's one thing, but you should argue for disestablishment on its own merits,
right.
not sort of as a side
Can I ask you one question?
consequence.
Do you approve of gay couples adopting children, having children? Or not, from what you say? I'm not sure.
I think when it comes to the issue of children, obviously, I'm not saying that that gay couples can't be good parents and can't be good and loving parents. No, but actually I think there is something very wrong about gay couples having children to order, because where you've got a child, you've got a biological mother and you've got a biological father.
Let her speak. Let her speak.
Okay, so when you've got a child, you've got a biological mother and you've got a biological father somewhere. Now, when you have a gay couple, they are deliberately excluding one of the child's parents, and every single child has a right to a relationship with its biological mother and its biological father.
All right, and take one more point from you, because you're saying no, 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 and just...
I know families where there are two gay people and the parent, the father, is involved as well in the upbringing of the child. And can I say that I've been with my partner for 32 years and I'm a member of the Church of England, and I bitterly regret that the Church of England is not accepting gay marriage. You have a definition of marriage that has been come over the centuries, but when it first started as marriage, it was a very different thing from what we talk about marriage as now. And I do not believe that God frowns on my love for my partner. I believe God is happy with it.
Okay. We've